I did not know that there was another woman doing the same thing that Kendra G is doing in regards to a dating show. Her name is Ashley Dalton. And this was a clip from a young woman who had premiered on her show before. This is the second time on here. And she says that she lives in Beverly Hills, but I found some fallacies in that. You know, I spent a lot of time in Southern California. I don't believe this is true, but it's because she's always walking around in Beverly Hills.
What does he have to look like?
Don't take this personal, y'all. Please don't. But I'm not really into black men anymore. So I like Armenians, Caucasians, anything but our kind.
Okay, and is there a reason why you don't want to date black men anymore?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm not doing struggle love. I feel like they still trying to figure out themselves. We have, generational trauma that just needs to be healed. And I feel like I'm doing the healing process. A lot of black men that I'm running into have not started that process. They don't even know what healing means.
But listen to what she has to say about the type of men that she prefers to date.
I get told I should be a model every day. That's how tall I am. Like I told you before, I don't like black men. I don't like black men at all. I don't like y'all. Sorry.
She don't like black men.
I like Armenians. I like Caucasian. No black men.
Okay, how much money does he have to make per year?
Well, I said 500K at first, but the prices have gone up from there because I've been meeting some 500K. So $1 million. I live in Beverly Hills, California. A house in Beverly Hills is 500K. So he can make $1 million a year. That's nothing. That's bare minimum.
And she also said that a man has to make $1 million or up in order to be with her. And she said that in Beverly Hills, houses cost $500,000. Do y'all know anything about California and real estate? You cannot buy a house in Beverly Hills for $500,000. You can barely buy a box in Beverly Hills for $500,000. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. You better go ahead and quadruple that number, sister. Your lying ass. You hear a lot of black women, when they're in this type of industry like prostitution, sugar babying, or whatever, they always encourage other black women to go for older white men. And there's a reason for that. If you guys are familiar with any pimpology, shout out to Sugar Free. Sugar Free taught me this. He said that the reason why he prefers that his prosty women go for white men is because black men, we tend to think that we can game our way into getting the booty for free. So that's why a lot of women, they try and go for white men because white men are more willing to pay for their services up front because black men tend to look for a deal. That's why you hear this $40 narrative. I'm going to give you this $40 and that's going to be about it.
I let it go for about $40. $40?
Or you go into the strip club and you try and whisper in a woman's ear and say, man, baby, you don't have to be doing this. I could take care of you. Knowing you ain't got no good reason to be telling that woman that, but you basically trying to use your mouthpiece to try and get it for free. So that's why women tend to go for white men because white men tend to be more on the trick type to just pay the money. But black women don't even understand why they're predisposed to doing that. And it's based off of this book, The History of Honky. Have you guys heard this term before?
Who you calling crazy, Honky?
Honky. Why? This was a term that was used to, it was like a racial epithet used towards white men. They called them honkies. The history of honky. And I always wondered, where does the term honky come from? Through research, I found out that it has a very interesting and kind of funny history or roots stemming from the early beginnings of prostitution in the United States. See it. To reduce any delays and chances that someone unexpected may see you, The white man would honk his horn when he arrived at the brothel to indicate that a guest has arrived. A black man would quickly come out, a pimp, take the gentleman inside the brothel, and park his car. Due to the nature of their arrival, black men identified those guests as honkies.
I'll call you a honky in a minute. And one day when y'all find out what the word honky means, you're gonna buy. See, prostitution is for white men. Okay? Somebody said, no, black men, no, she my sister, I get that bitch for free. Huh? Tell me about what it is. Huh? And all the whorehouses was in the black community, where them white men couldn't be seen by their friends. And they pulled up to the house and honked the car, honk, honk. And the black man come out and take him in and park his car. That's honky.
Wow.
Somewhere.
At a time where white men were driving up to their favorite brothel, there were some black men servants who worked for the brothel in order to complete repairs, maintain the property aesthetics, greet guests and visitors, as well as park vehicles. And then to continue with regurgitating this industry, an ordinance was put in place in 1897 to limit prostitution to one small area of the city known as the district or the red light district, once electricity was invented. This area was designated for all prostitutes as the area where they must live and work. The district in New Orleans was named Storyville, and it became the best known area for prostitution. At its peak, it had about 1,500 prostitutes and 200 brothels. Lulu stayed in the industry even after completing 3 years in jail until her death. And this is based off of the book. So basically, white men, like politicians, they would pull up to these brothels, honk their horns, and, they didn't want, of course, they didn't want to be seen for dabbling in the brown sugar, but they used to go over there and do that and make sure they got service that way. So white men have always found black women attractive because it was an easy way to get sex, because all they had to do was pay money and the black women would, run out as prostitutes. Fast forward to today. That's what you hear black women saying now. So when you get a young woman on Ashley Dalton's show saying that she don't want black men, it's because of the fact that she don't know that she's predisposed into going for white men because they're easier tricks. So no matter what people say and they try and jazz it up, sugar baby, no, it's still prostitution at the end of the day. You, ma'am, are 304. So yeah, go ahead and try and milk those white men, because white men are, like I said, they like y'all. Miscegenation laws, we all know the history about this. Slavery days, that's where you get biracial children and all this type of stuff, because it was very rare that a black man slave was going in there running up in Miss Ann. No. And it was unfortunate because those black women were taken advantage of. Just like I feel that black women of today are being taken advantage of by selling their body. But we all know they don't listen to us, me as a black man. So y'all do what you need to do and get that bread. So that is the history of the honky. And that is why black women who partake in sugar babying want to go for white men. There you have it. Cue the plain sound. Thank you for reaching back and pulling us up, Media Man. Oh, yeah. And I basically did that because I don't want black men to feel bad when you hear a black woman say that she don't want to deal with a black man. Good. Okay. Go get used by that white man, especially girls who are prostitutes. This woman, she has a price on her vagina. She said it's worth $1 million. I mean, that's what she say. And she said that she prefers other men, outside of black men, even though she's a black woman. And I gave you guys a reason. We like to game our way into getting it for free. He was good in the beginning, then he changed because black men know how to talk that talk. There's a certain swagger about us to where we can, just know how to talk to women. And that's not all black men, of course, but the ones who are good with women tend to know what to say. Let's just say that much.
Isn't he dusty? Isn't he full of dust? Isn't he ashy?